Hello, everybody. Hey. Hope y'all having a good morning so far. It's going to be a reading for the sign of Pisces. So take whatever resonate and leave the rest. I'm going to shuffle these cards up, then we're going to get right into it. Excuse me. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. And one time for the one time. Alright, let's see what we got from Pisces. Alright, Spirit, please give me the messages for the sign of Pisces. For the sign of Pisces. What are the messages for my Pisces, Spirit? So, we got rest in the upright. So, Pisces, you could be resting at this time. You could be in fear about something, having anxiety. So you could be taking a time out. You could be trying to relieve some stress because you could be mentally overloaded about something or about someone. So you could be wanting peace at this time. And then we got the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. So you could have been doing something on a routine, and this has got you needing to rest. So responsibilities could pretty much be taking all your time and energy. So you could need to rest from your responsibilities because you could be stressed out about them. So this could be something. So this could be in regards to work. So you could be working. You could have a set schedule. And you could do something at a certain time every day or whatever your schedule is. Now, I don't know if you do something to where you're protecting. So you could have a position to where you protect. So you could have a position of authority, or you could be in security or some sort of protective, position where you have to be defensive, conservative, always on the lookout. So yeah, you could do security or have a position of authority, like I said. But you could be stubborn, or people could view you as being stubborn. But you could just be ambitious. You like what you do. You're very hardworking because it brings in the money. So even though you could be tired, it could stress you out from time to time, you know this is what brings in the money. So you continue to do this. You could have been doing this for a while now. Very loyal to this position. And then we have the Chariot in the reverse. So your job is to assert yourself. Make sure people are following guidelines, following direction. Or you could be around a Cancer, though, that you work with. And you could feel like they have a lack of direction, a lack of self-control when it comes to the job. You could feel like they don't know how to be in a position of power. You could feel like they're too aggressive. So you feel like they don't know how to be practical. Then we have the Ace of Cups in the upright. Whew. So not only could you possibly work with this person, you could be intimate with this person as well. You could feel like, so I don't know if you're the one that's intimate with this person, or you could be watching the fact that they're intimate with someone else on the job, and this is why you view them as having a lack of direction, a lack of self-control, because they could have possibly gotten pregnant with someone or by someone that you work with. Could be a Capricorn that you work with, or a Scorpio. But you could see that they're trying to have a new beginning with this person. Now, if it's you that got this person pregnant, you could be one to have a new beginning with them. Bring love and happiness. Maybe it was just all about business at first, but you brought pleasure into it, and now you're wanting to give this person happiness. You're wanting to celebrate with this person. Then we got endings and defeat in the reverse. So you could feel like this person escaped destruction when it came to a relationship as well. Or you feel like they escaped destruction with you and they got into a new relationship. So you could be watching this person pick themselves up. They could be around you, like I said. So once where they had a lack of direction and a lack of self-control, you could be seeing that they learned from difficulties of the past. Maybe you watch this person be in unhealthy relationships where things were loveless, unrequited. Anymore. So you could have saw this Cancer escape a relationship with a Gemini or a Capricorn. Anymore for the sign of Pisces. Anymore for the sign of Pisces, Spirit. Oh, so we got the King of Cups in the reverse. So this could be you, Pisces, and you could have Capricorn or Gemini in your chart. So you could be an emotionally immature male, overly emotional, has the inability to cope. And you could be this person in anxiety. Like I said, you could be stressed out because of not only work, but you could be stressed out because you could have been the one lacking direction and self-control, which you could have gotten Cancer pregnant because of your lack of self-control. Now, this could be someone you work with, like I said. So you could be trying to escape the destruction that you caused by trying to leave this person hanging. Then we got the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So you could see this person as emotionally immature, just like you. You could feel like they were insecure and that's why they allowed you to get them pregnant. You could feel like they didn't or weren't able to trust in themselves, trust in their discernment when it came to dealing with you. So yeah, like I said, you could feel like they have a lack of direction because they were able to allow you to come in, act like you wanted to have a relationship with them just so that you could get them pregnant. And then we got making a break for it in the upright. So you could have just done this acted like you wanted a relationship to get this person pregnant because you wanted to be deceptive. You wanted to be able to lie, trick this person, cheat on this person, so get them into a relationship just so that you could cheat on them and steal from them. So you wanted to pretty much trap this person so that you could do this on a routine, so that you could cheat on them on a routine, steal from them on a routine, and them not be able to really do anything about it. So you could have been an enemy of this person disguised as a friend, or you could have been disguised in the fact that you really didn't like this person. You could have been spying on this person, making them your target. So you could have planned to do this all along. Plan to come in towards this person or to work with this person just so that you could try to start a relationship with this person to get them pregnant, just so that you could trap them into a loveless relationship to where you could be able to cheat and steal and lie. So because you are immature and you thought that this person was immature just like you thought they were insecure and you would be able to play on their insecurities and you would be able to take advantage of this person. So you saw your target, you went for the target, and you went in full force with the plan of deceiving this person and never loving them. And we got standing your ground in the reverse. So you could have wanted this person to give up on their beliefs. Could have wanted them to give up on their beliefs of what they deserve in love or what love should look like. You wanted them to give in to what they believe love should look like and what it should be. You wanted them to give up on themselves, make them feel like a failure because they got pregnant by you. Maybe you wanted them to feel like since they are pregnant or since they got pregnant by you that they wouldn't be able to accomplish whatever they were working on. Then we got the King of Wands in the upright. You could have Aries in your chart, Pisces. So you could have tried to blind this person's vision when it came to what they wanted in life or what it was going to be. So you could have came in towards this person very energetic. You could be experienced with doing this to people. Females in particular, if you're a male Pisces. So you could be someone who likes to come off very confident, like you're strong, friendly, you're fun to be around. You're fearless when the whole time you're someone that is a liar, a cheater, and a thief. So you try to come off very passionate, like you're an honest person, but all you do is lie to get your way. And then we got the Page of Wands in the upright. So you could have done all this because you knew that someone was going to receive good news. A letter, a phone call about something that they were working on. And you didn't want them to be able to work on this. So you wanted to put a monkey wrench in their plans pretty much. You didn't want them to be able to have fun, be full of energy. So you wanted to impregnate them, to sit them down. So you didn't want them to be able to create. Maybe they do something creative. So you didn't want them working on this. So like I said, you got them pregnant to sit them down. So we got strength in the reverse. So you wanted this person to be vulnerable, wanted them to be weak, wanted them to have a low self-esteem when it came to whatever they were creating. And you thought that if you got them pregnant, they would have a low self-esteem, not feel confident in creating any longer. Hello. Then we got the Page of Cups in the upright. So yeah, this person could be intuitive. They could be a psychic. So maybe you didn't want them to be able to receive messages. I don't know how them being pregnant will stop them from receiving messages. But maybe they escaped the destruction from you, Pisces, because they're a psychic. That sounds like my beanie. But yeah, they could have escaped destruction from you because their intuition could have told them what you were trying to do. So you were just trying to destroy their confidence so that they wouldn't feel confident enough to continue on creating and be able to get to a point where they could profit off of their creations. All because you wanted this person to be insecure because you're immature. So you like to do immature shit. You don't like confident women. You don't like women who's strong. So you wanted to play a child's game. You wanted to be childish. Now, this could be someone that you had a crush on, or you wanted them to be crushing on you. So you wanted to put them in a naive state or make them naive so that they would crush on you, be vulnerable to allow you in to get them pregnant so that you could hold them back. I'm telling you. Then we got the Magician in the upright. So yeah, you didn't want this person to be able to create. You didn't want them to be able to manifest anything. You could know that this person is very skilled and you thought that making them vulnerable and putting them in an insecure state, they would not be able to create anymore. Like I said, they wouldn't have the willpower to direct their will to be able to have success off of what they were working on creatively. They wouldn't be able to perform. Maybe you felt like if they were pregnant, they wouldn't be able to perform. So you could have also been doing magic on this person, some sort of spell work, witchcraft, to try to block this person's creativity so that they wouldn't take action as well. Maybe you thought that if they were pregnant and right along with you doing this spell work witchcraft, they would be too tired to create as well. So maybe that's why you thought that getting them pregnant would put a monkey wrench in their plans, because you felt like they would be too tired to even focus on their creativity. And then we got the Page of Pentacles in the upright. So you knew that this person was investing in something that was very profitable when it came to their creativity. And you knew that eventually they would get good news and be able to have a solid beginning. So maybe you could be realizing that this person, you weren't able to make them vulnerable enough to allow you in to get them pregnant because they escaped the destruction, and now they're getting good news. They're having a solid beginning, able to make goals and set their goals. They're able to make plans because they escape your destruction that you plan for them. So you can know that this person has a bright future ahead of them because they know how to invest instead of indulge in your bullshit or play these stupid childish games with you. And then we have the King of Pentacles in the upright. So you could have not wanted this person to meet someone that was mature and stable, someone who was wealthy. Now, maybe this is someone that was going to be able to give this person good news about a solid beginning when it comes to their creativity. So you wanted this person to feel like they would have been taking a risk with this person. Like this person would have destroyed their empire or not been good for their empire because they were pregnant and too lazy to even create. So you didn't want them to be able to be in a position to where they would get a high status or be in a high status. You didn't want them to be stable and secure. So you chose to be aggressive towards them. Any more for the Pisces? So yeah, you tried to cause them pain. You tried to cause them heartbreak, all because you didn't want them to have a high status. You didn't want them to have any stability or security, so you thought that breaking their heart, betraying them would be the way to go. You wanted them to be lonely. So not only did you not want them to be able to create and be stable on their own, you didn't want someone to take interest in them, to be able to provide for them, to bring them insecurity as well. So not only did you not want them to have it on their own, you didn't want somebody else to be able to bring it to them as well. You wanted them to be alone, by themselves. You wanted them to be depressed, and maybe if they were depressed enough, separated enough, they would run back to you or want to be with you. So you could have caused a lot of confusion, Pisces. Caused this person to be very restless, caused them a lot of grief and unhappiness, all because you thought that causing them so much pain would have them run back to you, even though they already escaped you, got the fuck away from you, realized that you were immature and they didn't want to deal with you. So you could have done all this just to try and have a new beginning with this person, and you felt like blocking them would be the way to get what you wanted, because you could have the inability to cope without this person. Maybe you felt like things were better when they were around, when you were able to work together with this person. But they left your ass in the past, and now you're not happy with that. Any more for the sign of Pisces, Spirit? So yeah, we got the sun in the reverse. So like I said, you wanted this person to be sad. Maybe because you were sad that they left your ass. It left your ass in the past. And you wanted them to be sad just like you. You wanted them to feel like their expectations were unrealistic. Like they just couldn't achieve having a successful life without you. Now, if they did get into a new relationship with someone, you could have wanted them, and they got pregnant, you could have wanted them to have a miscarriage. So you were in your ego, Pisces. You were just being selfish, wanting what you wanted. So you could have tried to come in between someone's new relationship as well, all because you still wanted this person, all because you wanted to be the one that had a new beginning with them, to be able to get them pregnant, also that you could take them off their path or block their creativity. So you can know that if someone mature comes towards them, they're still going to be able to create. This will be someone that's not going to block their creativity. So you could just be jealous of the fact that this person has the ability to meet someone who's mature, who's a provider, and you know that they will have a good life with this person. They will be happy. They will be able to celebrate with the new person. Then we got dreams in the upright. So you can know that they weren't happy with you because you were just too immature. Now, you could have also had multiple options on this person while you were with this person. So you could have been trying to live in a fantasy world, deal with any and everybody, even though you were with this person, or wanting to be with this person. So like I said, you could have been cheating on a routine, lying on a routine, stealing on a routine while this person was with you, but yet you don't want them to get into a new relationship that's actually going to be happy and loving. So you wanted them to feel like they were in an illusion if they ever thought that they could possibly have a happy relationship with someone and get pregnant with someone else and just live a happy, stable life. All because it wasn't with you, even though you played games with this person. So it doesn't look to me like you wanted a happy relationship with this person, because all you did was lie, cheat, and steal. So we got making investments in the reverse. So you could have wanted this person to look like they were bad for business. Or this person could have realized that you were bad for business. That's why they no longer wanted to work with you. You could have wanted this person to be viewed like they don't finish what they start because you were making them tired. So like I said, you could have been attacking their willpower so that they wouldn't have the will, the strength to be able to create. So you could say, oh, they're not good for business anyway. All they do is sleep. And then we got the Ace of Swords in the upright. So someone could be getting clarity about you, Pisces. Realizing that you were planning things behind the scenes to try to stop someone's victory, stop someone's success. So there could be people, could be an Aquarius or a Libra or both, that could be having a breakthrough, realizing that you just didn't want someone to have success. You didn't want them to be able to focus, to be able to carry out their vision of what they wanted their life to be like. You didn't want them to be able to be strong enough to concentrate with everything that you were throwing at them. And then we got resilience in the upright. So this person was still able to remain resilient, even though you tried to have them on an ongoing battle, even though you tried to have them very fatigued, very exhausted, always in a resting period, trying to exhaust their energy, all because you didn't want them to have success. But they were still able to persevere. They had a backbone, and they were still able to gain their strength and do what it is that they needed to do, despite being tired, despite being exhausted. So you could have done all this trying to force them to come back to you, but you realize that this person had a backbone on their own and they're not coming back to you because they know that you're nothing but an immature motherfucker that like to lie, steal, and cheat. And they don't want to deal with that. They actually want a new relationship, someone new that they could be happy with. that there's going to be love in a situation and not unrequited love. Maybe you wanted them to feel like they would never be able to get that type of love, that you were all they had to settle for, Pisces. So at one time, if this was someone that you were with, they could have been naive. They could have been insecure, and you could have found it easy to lie, steal, and cheat when you were with this person. But they could have gotten a backbone, escaped your ass, and start learning how to be on themselves, start learning how to be confident. They learn how to love themselves. They learned where they went wrong in the past when it came to choosing you, being with you, putting up with the shit that they were putting up with, when it came to what you were trying to put them through. And they could have realized that they were worth so much more. And you didn't want them to get to that point. So you thought by putting them through a lot of pain would keep them in that state of being naive, being insecure, so that you could always be allowed back in. Any more for the sign of Pisces, Spirit? Any more? Plenty more. What's the tea for me, for we? Whoa. So we got apathy in the upright. So you could be in regret right now, or you wanted this person in regret, Pisces. You wanted them to constantly get rejected. You wanted them always missing out on opportunities because, like I said, you wanted to be the one that they had no choice to run back to. You wanted them to feel like you were their only option of hope, of love, which you really didn't give love here, because you don't love if you're wanting to lie, steal, and cheat on a person. That's not love. But you wanted them to feel like that's all they were worthy of having. So you wanted to stagnate them. Put them in an illusion like that was just all. You wanted them to be bored as well with the offers that did come through. And you wanted them to be depressed because not only did you want them to get rejected, you wanted the offers that were coming through to be offers that they would be bored with. Offers they didn't really want. And then we got the star in the reverse. So you wanted this person to be hopeless. Like they would never find love, have love, get any real offers. You wanted them to lack faith when it came to love. Lack faith to when it came to having a new beginning. You wanted them to lack inspiration as well as creativity because you didn't want them to be able to create. Again, them being put out there, them being able to create, and people seeing them, you didn't want the right person to see them. Then we have the Queen of Swords in the upright. So you can know that this person is very honest, very truthful, very protective over themselves now, to where as though they could have not been so protective over themselves when you were able to allow yourself in or insert yourself in. or play with this person's mind to get in. Now you could see that they're independent, they're a good communicator, or these are all the things that you know that this person is, so you try to make them the reverse so that no one else could want them. You can know that this person is very fair, witty, fun, and realistic. They're insightful as well, so they can have a lot of knowledge, could be very inspirational, and you didn't want them to be that. You wanted to block all of that so that they would be insecure and feel like you were all they could ever get. And we got budgeting in the upright. So you could be having property issues right now. Things could be going on in your home. Now, I don't know if something is wrong with the floors or the ceiling. You could just be having issues in the home that needs fixing. You could have also wanted this person to be focused on deep-rooted issues that happened in their past. So you always wanted them to be, what you call it? Focused on the past, pretty much. You could have been stingy towards this person as well. So not only were you stealing from them, you didn't want them to make anything. So you wanted control over their money, control over their independence. And you could have been very possessive over this person, over their money, over their stability. I'm telling you, they are. And then we got balance in the reverse. So you wanted to imbalance this person. You wanted to ensure that they had a lack of balance because you were controlling things. You wanted control over this person. You didn't want them to be able to have organization in their life. You wanted them to be in poverty if they weren't with you. Wow. So yeah, you wanted them to make poor financial decisions when it came to property. So if they were able to get a property, you wanted them to get a property that was going to fall apart, or deal with a landlord that wasn't going to fix shit, or be in an environment where there will always be problems around them. So you wanted to control their money so that they wouldn't have enough money to actually be where they want to be, live where they want to live. So you pretty much wanted them either out on the streets so they would have to run back to you, or you wanted them in a very low income environment, somewhere that wasn't really safe or comfortable. Then we got independence and wealth in the reverse. So yeah, I just said this. You wanted them to have a lack of independence, stability, and security. So the little money that they did have, you wanted them to be able to recklessly spend it, or you wanted them to recklessly spend it. So you could say that they're just they just make poor financial decisions, and that's why they can't afford a nice home, afford to be in a nice environment, or come out of being in poverty, or come out of low income housing. Whole time it's you wanting control over them and their finances, just so that you could try to force them to come back to you to deal with your lying, cheating, and stealing. Just pray for his soul. I'm telling you. Any more for the sign of Pisces, Spirit? For Pisces. Any more, plenty more. What's the tea? So we got anxiety in the upright. Yo, energy, Pisces. So like I said, you could be in heavy fear and anxiety, fearing that this person is going to come up out of this poverty. You're feeling like you're on the verge of collapse because it's making you unhappy that this person is still able to get good news. They're still able to get opportunities and take advantage of these opportunities. You see that they're still going to have a bright future without you, and this is making you very unhappy. So you have the inability to cope with life because they're no longer there, and you want them to be there. You want them to pretty much be your punching bag. You want to be able to put all of your problems onto this person. And because they're no longer there to be your punching bag, to take the weight of all your problems away, you're unhappy. It's causing you mental pain. Oh, now you're guilty. Oh, now you're regretful and remorse over how you treated this person. Knowing that they put up with a lot from you, knowing that they could have took you with them on the journey of having a bright future, but no, you decided to abuse this person, cause them pain, and now because you don't have a place in their life, now you're unhappy. Now you regret it. Sad. And beats women too. I bet, yeah, men beaters. So we got the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. So yeah, you know that this woman is mature. You know that they're a businesswoman, or this could be a businessman as well. You know that they have a high social status, and that one day they're going to meet someone of the same caliber, a King of Pentacles. Someone who's mature just like them, someone who is a businessman or a woman too, someone who has a high social status just like them. And you know that they'll live a happy, prosperous, wealthy life together. Or you know that this person, even without someone by their side, they're going to be independent and wealthy, even though you wanted them to lack independence. And this is what's making you unhappy. This is what's putting you in fear. The fact that you know that this person is going to be abundant, and they're going to be abundant without you. Any more for the Pisces? So we got the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So you could have tried to bully this person, Pisces. You wanted to be the one demanding, calling the shots in their life. And you could have done this by always being nosy, always being up in their business, wanting to know what they're doing, who they're doing it with, where they're at. You always wanted to know everything so that you would be able to have control over it. And you could have been very aggressive doing this, very overbearing. So you thought you would be able to bully this person to come back to you. Any more for the sign of Pisces? So we got decision in the reverse. So you could be indecisive on if you wanted to stop bullying this person. You could have been procrastinating on seeing the truth that regardless of how much you bully this person, how much you look into them, they're going to get good news. They're going to have abundance. So you being this liar could be being exposed, that you were just lying on this person, trying to control this person, trying to be possessive over this person, just because they no longer wanted to be with you and be controlled by you. They didn't want to be lied to anymore, cheated on anymore, stolen from anymore. Then we have the Lovers in the upright. So you wanted to be this person's primary choice. Like I said, you wanted them to feel like you were the only one that was going to love them, even though the love you get ain't even love. You wanted them to feel like you would be the only one that would want them. Their only love, their only soulmate, or this could have been a soulmate of yours, and you just destroyed the connection with someone who's a kindred spirit, someone that you would have had a perfect union if you knew how to act, if you knew how to treat this person. It would have been the perfect partnership, because this is someone that you could actually work with, someone you could actually create with, build with. And you chose to try to tear them down, make them insecure, block their creativity instead of working with them. So all your desires would have been fulfilled with this person, but you chose to treat them like shit. And now you know that they're meant to be with another soulmate. So just because you couldn't get your shit together and you were their soulmate, don't think that they have to wait for you to get your shit together, or they will always have to be with you just because you're a soulmate. That just means they're going to get another soulmate that can rise to occasion and be what they need them to be. Someone who actually shares the same values with them, so that they could get what they desire and give what the person that they're going to be with desires as well. Actual love. And not some unrequited shit where they have to be abused and torn down. Any more for the sign of Pisces? Any more, plenty more. What's the tea for me, for we? Whoa, that one flew. So we got transition in the upright. So like I said, this person is going to get love. Could be by a Gemini or someone else with Gemini in their chart, or Aquarius in their chart. And they could be moving to calmer waters with this person, or they could just be moving to calmer waters with themselves, being independent, healing themselves, progressing when it comes to their life, or making progress when it comes to their life. They could just be moving on from you, moving on from lack, escaping what you wanted for them. Now, they could also be traveling right now. And like I said, gaining stability, having a sense of relief instead of being stressed out, always tired. Any more? Any more for the sign of Pisces? What's this? So we got justice in the upright. So like I said, this person is getting justice. The law may have needed to get involved because you were so possessive over this person, trying to bully this person. So they could have had to get involved to try to balance things out Maybe you are suffering some consequences for being a bully, for being overbearing, overstepping your boundaries time and time again in this person's life. So now you could be facing legal disputes at this time, having to pay fees, having to serve some time or community service or something for your actions. So the law could just be standing in integrity and trying to give this person karmic justice by making you face consequences for your actions so that you will be able to learn your lesson to not do this to people. I bet. Shit. So yeah, they could be seeing the truth about you, Pisces. And this is why they're wanting to give someone karmic justice, because they know that you're a liar, you're a cheater, you're a thief. Then we got Pisces, Haitian man. You don't have to be Haitian. You could just be a Pisces man. Someone named could be Brittany as well. You could be a part of the swingers community, Pisces. So this could be what you tried to do. You could have tried to force someone to be okay with being a part of swingers, or being okay with being someone who was a swinger. So you wanted to force this person to be okay with that type of lifestyle, even though that's not what they wanted or what they believed in. Then we got theme park. You could be going to a theme park, or you could have recently went to a theme park. We have loves your scent. So somebody could love your scent, or you could love their scent. This could be someone that you took to a theme park or met at a theme park. And we have divine timing. So in divine timing, you could be meeting someone that's of your caliber, that's going to swing with you, that you don't have to force or bully into being okay with that. Then we got this week. So you could be meeting this person this week. Their name could be Lexi, or someone's name could be Lexi. Then we have 74, so someone could be 74 or something about someone that's 74. I don't know if this is a grandparent. Maybe you watch your parent or your grandparent be a swinger, and that's why you are a swinger. Or you could be born in the year 74. And we have Europe. Someone could be from Europe or traveling to or from. Someone could be born in the year 1992 as well. We have surrounded by NPCs. So whoever is born in the year 1992, you could be surrounded by NPCs, non-character players, non-player characters. Then we have family court. So yeah, the law could have been involved because you could have taken this person to family court, or they could have taken you to family court, and maybe you were lying on this person so that you would be able to get custody, so that you could have control over this person's life by having the upper hand. But like I said, they could be seeing the truth in the situation, seeing who's really the liar, who's really the irresponsible one. And we have cravings. So if someone is pregnant, if you have someone pregnant, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, if you are pregnant, you could be having cravings right now, or your mate could be. Then we have closure. So this court date could be giving you closure, or this person closure. So maybe this court date had to come about so that closure could be had. Then we have a bar fight. So if you work at a bar, I did bring up if you do security or something, maybe you do security at a bar, you could have gotten to a bar fight as well. Then we have down low male group. So you could be a swinger, but you could be a part of a down low male group that like to do this to females. You could be chubby, or you could be dealing with someone who is chubby. Then we have Lynn. Someone's name could be Lynn. But yeah, because you're a part of a down low male group, y'all like to bully women. Y'all like to try to force them into being a part of a swingers group. So instead of just telling the truth about what you're into, you try to force these women into liking that. Then we got love at first sight. So you could be feeling like it was love at first sight with someone. And this is why you could be in regret, because you chose to do all of this even though you felt like it was love at first sight. Someone named could be Fatima as well, or Fatima. And they could be extremely jealous of someone that you looked at as love at first sight. Or this could be you, Pisces. You could be extremely jealous of someone because someone feel like it was love at first sight with someone else. Any more for the Pisces spirits? Oh, damn. So we got a Sagittarius male. So a Sagittarius male could be extremely jealous of someone that you feel like it was love at first sight with. So this could be one of the down low lovers of yours, Pisces, that is jealous of someone that you're in love with. And then we have landscaping business. So you could have a landscaping business. You could have this business with a Sagittarius male that you're on the down low with. I'm trying to tell you, it really is not. Keep them for real. Because they is hard to come by nowadays. Really hard. So someone could be in their late 30s. You could be in your late 30s, Pisces. Or this Sagittarius male could be. Or y'all both could be in y'all late 30s. Then we have sheriffs near you. So you could be a part of the sheriff's department, or the sheriffs could be around you. So they could be following you, watching you, and this is how they're getting the truth about what you've really been doing. So maybe you didn't know that they were watching you, Pisces, but they were. They were watching you, and this is how they got the truth, that you were trying to bully someone, be all up in their business, be overbearing. And we have cold-hearted. So they could be looking at you and seeing you as a cold-hearted individual. You could want to have a movie night with someone as well. This could be an Aries female that you want to have a movie night with, or that you could have had a movie night with. And someone could be viewing you as cold-hearted because of this. This could be someone that is single that is viewing you as cold-hearted because you chose to have a movie night with the Aries female. Whoever this single person is could be your old flame. But yeah, and I got co-founder at the bottom of my deck. So you could be a co-founder of something, Pisces, as well. But yeah. That was y'all reading, Pisces. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Anybody wanting a personal read and have any questions, would like to have an event session, or would like to donate, that information is in the description below this video. It may not be available until the video finished processing, but yeah, that's where the information on how to reach me will be at. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. You means deuces. I holla, 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 holla.